Alright everyone, welcome to Sour Horsepower. Today we're finally going to be doing a mini review of the Eurocompulsion Stage 1 that we installed on our 2020 Fiat 124 Spider Abarth. Now, if you haven't seen the install video, I'll go ahead and put that link in the description below to show you what exact parts we put on the car. But we'll run through those real quick. We did the upgraded spark plugs and coil packs, the Go Fast Bits diverter valve, and then we also installed the Eurocompulsion center section for the exhaust. It's a wider diameter piece, but we still maintain the factory cat and or factory catalytic converter, I should say, and the factory cat back exhaust. So we have the Record Monza exhaust on here. That's the one that came on the car. That's the upgraded one from Fiat. But now we have a enlarged center section tube. It's the crossover pipe underneath the car. I'll explain in my previous video. But we got those parts installed, and now what we're going to do today is I'm charging the draggy up right now, and we're going to try and get some updated 0 to 60 times. I believe what we ran before is a 7.2 second 0 to 60 in this car. That was probably back maybe about a year ago this time when I was testing it. Completely bone stock. Now we should have probably 40 to 60 more horsepower depending on how you want to look at it. Eventually one day we will get it dyno tuned to find out or not dyno tuned, we will get it dynoed to figure out how much horsepower it's actually making at the moment. But yeah, we're gonna see how much speed we picked up. Unfortunately, we got a little bit of a downhill here, so let's go ahead and take a look at that downhill. We might do 2 passes, like one going down and one going up, and maybe average them to get our average time for that. But we'll do the 0 to 60. We'll get you some more exhaust clips because in the last video I only did like a little couple revs. We'll get some driving, hook the GoPro up to the back bumper, get some exhaust noises from that, because we have, with the tune that we got from Eurocompulsion, it has a burble tune setting on it. So they give you the option for no burbles, burble tune, or pops and bangs. We went with the middle burble tune. So with us selecting the middle tier, I guess it's a sweet spot, because pops and bangs I feel would be way too aggressive. You'll hear it in the clips later. This one just gives off just the right amount of pops to where you're not being annoying to everyone around you, but you still can have gives a little bit more emotion to the driving experience. So we'll go ahead, get in the car, get driving, and enjoy the sounds. just got done doing the testing for the 0 to 60, and the numbers are not as good as I was hoping. Well, the if we included the 1 foot rollout compared to where we used to be when we first tested this, we're about almost a second faster. So it was 6.8 seconds with the 1 foot rollout and 7.5 without the 1 foot rollout. These are all kind of numbers, and that was the downhill. The uphill was about half a second slower after that. Obviously you'll see all the numbers here on the screen, but I don't think the 0 to 60 is a good test to see if you're actually gained power. And yes, it definitely has, in my opinion, gained power. We'll verify it with the dyno, of course, but I would say overall, it's not that we're not going to pick up a drastic amount of time in a 0 to 60 by just doing a stage 1 kit. Obviously, they have a whole bunch of other mods you can do to it. Intake, front mount intercooler, the ported turbo, stuff like that. So those are all things I may be considering doing to this. But where I think the stage 1 is great is while actually driving, the mid-range torque is noticeably better when driving around. It picks up a lot faster, gives you more of a punch. Like, you can almost use a higher gear than you used to, especially like if you're on the highway trying to overtake a car. Maybe instead of dropping down to 4th or 3rd even to pass the car, you can just maybe leave it in 5th, because now there's a lot more torque in that mid-range to help with overtaking. And then coming around here down these back roads, coming out of corners, it doesn't feel like you have to really wring the car out as much to get some power out of it. Like, the most noticeable part is the mid-range torque. Like, between 3 and 4,000 RPM is where you really notice the benefits of the tune. And is it worth it? Yes, I would say it's absolutely worth it. Even if you just want to do a stage 1 like I have here, and then just leave it, you can get rid of the burble tune if you don't want the extra pops and stuff coming out the back. And if you just want to enjoy the car, like, this is how much power the car should have came with from the factory. It's so much better this way. So basically, I never really talked about the power numbers. Stock, these things make around 120 to 130 wheel horsepower, and this is supposed to take it up to like around 170, maybe 180 if we're lucky. But I say 170 is probably a more realistic number. So you're roughly adding 40 to 50 wheel horsepower, like we talked about earlier. But like, I was just staying in 4th gear that whole time, and it just let the mid-range torque pull me along, and it definitely is a much more engaging driving experience. And like I said earlier, with the burble, you get a little bit more emotion, especially if you have the top down. You really hear the burbles really nice. So overall, like I said, it is worth it if you got the extra coin and you want to add a little bit of power to your 124 Spider. I highly recommend the Eurocompulsion kits. I most likely am going to be doing the stage 2, which is adding the intake and the front mount sometime this year. I would like to do that. Am I going to go bigger turbo or ported turbo? Maybe. I wouldn't say no. But I also don't want to just throw a bunch of power at this thing without upgrading other things. Like, I would want to do suspension, wheels and tires, some wider wheels and tires, because I'd like to actually take this thing. Yes, I'd like to get some wider wheels and tires as well. I really enjoy this thing, doing some autocross. If we're going to do road course stuff in this car, bigger brakes, or at least brake pads and fluid are on order. That would need to be taken care of, but we have plenty more content to come. I'm out here on a Friday after work filming this, so we finally got some good weather. It's like 60 degrees today. Thank you for that. And then after this, tomorrow is Viper Day. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe now, because our next video coming out after this is going to be taking my 2015 Viper basically to these same roads you see here today, but I finally got new tires for it. When I bought the car, it had like 6-year-old tires on it that were trash. We finally got some new tires, and we'll be bringing it out here tomorrow. That video will probably follow up this one after another day or two. So if you want to see more on this car or my Viper and some more future incoming cars, I think I already talked about it, the SRT Durango we have on the way. Plenty of racing this year coming up. So if you're new, subscribe to the channel, please. We really appreciate it if you subscribe. We got a lot of views on the channel, not a lot of subscribers. So please hit that subscribe. Turn on your notifications if you want to be notified when I upload a video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Have a great day.